You're listening to the Holistic Spaces podcast brought to you by Mindful Design Feng Shui School. Episode 134, How to Use Jade in Feng Shui. Welcome to episode 134 of the Holistic Spaces podcast, where we hope to inspire, educate, and empower you to create your own holistic spaces that nurture and resonate with you. Angie Cho and Laura Morris are the founders of the Mindful Design Feng Shui School. Together, they have over 3 decades of experience designing harmonious living spaces. Laura and Angie have guided thousands of people to shift their energy and revitalize their lives. Mindful Design School offers feng shui courses and certifications. Check us out at mindfuldesignschool.com. So, welcome everyone. Happy August and hope you're having a nice summer. We wanted to start with always with a reminder of what the new happenings are at the Mindful Design Feng Shui School. So the most important new happening is that we're going to have a free webinar called Feng Shui Your Bedroom, Colors, Crystals, and Plants. And we hope that all of you will join us. It's going to be live, and you can sign up by joining our mailing list if you go to mindfuldesignschool.com and you scroll to the bottom. And we'll also have the replay available and have it evergreen for a while, for a certain period of time. So again, be sure to be on our mailing list so you can find out how to sign up for that. And that will be, what day is that? August.
Don't ask me
It's in August.
that.
It's at the end of the month. So it's like, it's at the end of the month. So,
I feel like it's
but
coming up pretty soon, but
yeah, but if
like,
you
yeah.
if you miss it, that's okay. We're gonna have it recorded, but it would be great to see you guys live. But we
Mhm.
know how it goes. August, people go like take time off. So yeah, and then in September, we are starting our next round of students for the feng shui certification program. And we also have a practical feng shui class in September too. So we hope we can see you for one of those, right?
Mhm. Yeah. We have a practical feng shui September 1st. Our class starts at the end of the month. Check out our website for details on it. For those of you out there that are listening and that have been listening for a while, or maybe you just stumbled across us, who knows? And you've said, "Hey, this feng shui stuff is pretty cool," and then you want to study it a little bit more deeply. Then check out our website, and you can learn more there.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about jade and feng shui. So
Mhm.
this is actually a podcast that was inspired by a post that I wrote for the spruce. So if you don't know, I'm the feng shui expert for the spruce. So if you've Googled or searched on the internet for something feng shui, you've probably come across one of my articles. The spruce gives a lot of great resources for feng shui. And one of the articles they had me write was one about jade and feng shui. And I also shared a little bit about it on my Instagram videos, my IGTVs, and it was very popular. So I was like, Laura, why don't we make this a podcast episode? And I know Laura loves jade. So and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we both have our jade bracelets on.
Mhm.
And Laura actually got her jade bracelet in China. So and Laura loves jade more than I do, but
Mhm.
let's talk about jade. Laura, tell me about your love of jade.
My love of jade. I didn't love jade. No, until I went there and I saw. I guess I mean I knew about jade and I saw it when I here in North America, and actually and this we'll get into this a little bit. Jade is kind of a catch-all for a stone, and there's many different varieties of it within that. Um, and we even have a quote Canadian jade here, where I think out west, and somebody had given me something, a necklace, and I was like, oh, that's nice. But then I went to China and I went to the National Jade Museum in Beijing, and it's essentially a factory where you go in, they show you how they make the crafts, men and women that are there, and some really old ones. And then I was looking at this stuff, I mean, some of it, which is jadeite, so it's a slightly different variety, but within that kind of catch-all of jade. and I just fell in love with it. Like, I was like, "Oh my goodness." And so, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous when you the translucent jadeite. And so, yeah, I learned all about it, and I walked through, and of course, I bought something because obviously I'm going to. And I bought this beautiful jadeite bracelet that has, and here I am, like, I had no idea. I just always thought, because the jade I've always seen has been this dark, sort of very dark green. And this is like, looks like little white clouds, and like with little purple clouds in it too. It's just so beautiful. So I fell in love with it, and then I learned all about it. Like, they walked you through the traditions around it. So it really instilled, it solidified my love for jade doing that.
And did you see a lot of jade when you did visit China in different parts of like in the
What I
relics?
did notice, yeah, like everywhere they sell it everywhere. But what I did notice is a lot of women do wear, it is a tradition for the women to wear the bangle on the jade bangle on their left arm, on their left hand. And our tour guide was wearing it, and she explained to be why, and that it's for protection. And she even told a story of what happened to her, where she fell, and she almost, she said she would have broken her arm if it hadn't have been for the jade bracelet. The jade bracelet basically stopped her and broke and took the brunt of it, and she had to get another one. And so she maintains that, they're basically, they maintain that they're a way to protect you. And the left arm is because it's closest to the heart. You wear it on the left side. So
Mm.
from part of, I would say definitely part of the culture. And like jade teapots, like when you, and then I toured another museum in Suzhou. And like they have these huge halls just dedicated to jade, and it's absolutely stunning. Like, it's unbelievable what they can do with it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, being Asian, being Korean, it was definitely a quite a prized stone that is found throughout most East Asian cultures. And it's pretty well known. And there's also connections to Taoism, and the colors of jade are connected to the five elements. So we could talk a little bit about
Hmm.
that. But I also really love the I love the, like you were saying, the luminous kind of translucent quality of jade, and it's just very attractive. It's
Hmm.
magnetizing, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is, and it looks different in different light, and that's what they say too. I mean, different light, it depending on where, like when you're in sunlight, really bright sunlight, standing outside, it's, you can, I mean, it's just different colors come out. So it is a very um complex stone. Like, it has a lot of different sides to it, which I really, really
Mm.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, and they also say that like even like the veining on the stones
Mhm.
represent dragon veins, and they're
Yep.
very young.
Yes.
And so like that ties into this green color. So jade, there's many different colors of jade, right? But
Yeah.
the most well known is the green jade. And green in Chinese medicine and in Feng Shui and the five phases, the five element system, is related to wood element, but it's also related to the liver, to healing, to family harmony,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
and to growth and vitality. So wearing green jade on you also invokes those aspects in your life.
Yeah. And it is certain types of jade. If you find the white, that sort of jadeite with that really dark, what they call it spinach green, like it's this really dark green in it. And that is highly, highly sought after. But yes, it's connected to, so the white, so if you have that white jadeite, um, or that, like, it's like a pale gray, but it's this clouds, it looks like clouds. And once it's described, I think it was described as like clouds on a mountain. Like, that's kind of, it almost looks like a landscape sometimes. That that, or moss entangled in melting snow, that's right. um that, if that's the, so the white would be metal, right? Because that connects us to another element. So there's a lot of, when you look at it, even when I was going through the museum, there's obviously different qualities, different levels of pricing, et cetera, et cetera. And some of the colors are are really highly sought after, and especially if they're a mix of these different colors, which again, as you said, connect back to the five elements. So white would be metal. And then they also bring in the concept of yin and yang when you're looking at it. So some of the lighter, airier um, bracelets or bangles are considered more yin, whereas the deeper, darker, that dragon vein you were saying is considered more yang, right? So that's another thing you can consider when you look, if you are looking for a bangle or you're looking to wear it. I mean, consider the yin and the yang of the bracelet itself, or the or whatever piece you get.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different feng shui or Chinese, sorry, Asian inspired symbols that you can bring into your home that are made of jade. For instance, we're talking about more traditional feng shui motifs like dragons. Like, so you can often find
Mhm.
carvings, jade carvings of dragons or turtles. And dragons are, one of the most revered mythical animals in Asian culture. They say that in China, parents purposely have their children so that their children will be born in the year of the dragon, because dragons, unlike in Western culture, dragons are really seen as beneficent and supportive and generously bringing in support and help for people. They bring rain, they bring vitality to peoples and their lands and their homes. So and bring in great wealth and protection and power. So having a jade carving of something like a dragon could be quite auspicious in your home.
Mhm.
And also like turtles too, right? That's a
Mhm.
traditional art, Chinese art motif as well. And the symbol of the turtle or the tortoise represents longevity because they're said to live a long life. But also one of the astrological or divinatory systems that we use in feng shui is called the nine-star key, and also the I Ching. It's all kind of related, but it all is related, and all of that. That oracle is said to have been revealed on a tortoise shell that emerged from, was it the Low River?
Mhm.
The Low River.
Yeah, and so the turtle is connected to both longevity and wisdom. So you have that,
Yes.
which and there were and you know how you were asking about, when I was in China. I mean, again, these symbols were everywhere, especially when you're going in and out of temples, and palaces. So and the dragon represented the emperor, and the phoenix was the empress. So yeah, I in hindsight, oh, and I got a little ring too, because we do an adjustment in feng shui where we use non-metal rings, and so I got a little jadeite ring too, which I always wear.
Don't you have
Um,
something jade on your altar? I feel like I remember something. No?
I had a little sculpture. Yeah, I have a little jade Buddha.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
I do.
also another way that you
Yeah.
can bring in jade. Or it could be more modern, like a Jane, sorry, not Jane, a jade stone.
Mhm.
Like I have a jade
Mm,
stone in as one of
interesting.
my mesa stones. In a healing practice I work with. So there's many ways that you can bring in jade into your home
Mhm.
in feng shui. But what not a lot of people know is that you can also use feng shui on your body and wear objects. So that's where like these bangles come
Mhm.
in, or any kind of jade jewelry, or even like you could wear. Someone gifted me once a jade pendant that had a dragon carved into
Mhm.
it. So that's also very quite, or little charms made of jade in a with an auspicious animal can be very protective that you can wear on you or carry with you.
And the one thing I have to say about that I love about jade, and this is part of why it's revered as being not only protection but auspicious, is it is firmly held that it's a living stone. So if you have to wear your jade, because you can't just keep it locked away. It needs your own chi, because it is also imbued with chi, and it needs your chi to continue to keep it strong. Um, and I was told that you don't just keep this away for a good you wear you wear them all the time. I mean, it's what you wear. And because if you hide it away in your jewelry box or in your cupboard and say, "Oh, I'm going to save it for a special time," it's believed to get brittle, and actually, it's like that vital is, sort of dissipates and leaves the stone itself. So there's something about caring for it, wearing it, keeping it, using it, polishing it. It's really, it's sort of like everything we talk about, even when we talk about plants. I mean, just don't, if you're going to get things, be really selective about what you get. And when you get them, take care of them and nurture them and love them, really.
Yes, absolutely. So everyone, we hope to see your matching jade bracelet. So, and thank you, Laura, for sharing all of that. And thank you also, listeners, for listening to our podcast. You can listen every Monday for a new podcast episode. Be sure to sign up for our mailing list so you can join our free webinar or at least watch the recording, Feng Shui Your Bedroom, Colors, Crystals, and Plants. If you like our podcast, you can share it with others and definitely, again, sign up for our mailing list. You can go to mindfuldesignschool.com, scroll down to the bottom, and you can sign up for our mailing list there. And you can also explore our blog and all the information, all the freebies we have on our website at mindfuldesignschool.com and holisticspaces.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.